So today, I'm going to be talking about lettering a little bit. I've mentioned it before. I'm going to go into a little more detail. I'll provide you with this guide sheet here, and then we'll have some opportunities to practice the lettering. Right now, I'm just going to go through some of the things that you probably saw in the video recently. You know, here, noticing that in this instance, they're showing it as the video stated, making a straight line down. If you need a straight line, it's better to start with your hand here and just do like this and move your pencil down, right? And the other thing is to make a fresh stroke each time, you know, starting over fresh. Like when you letter the B, here it's showing this illustrates making first that vertical line down like that, and then curve to do the whole thing, right? Even a C, which you would think could easily be a single stroke, the suggestion is that you do a single stroke here for the main body of the C, then a separate stroke for each of the other little parts to complete the entire shape. So I'm going to do a couple of these, and hopefully, you know, I won't embarrass myself by making terrible letters. I've gone ahead here and made myself some guidelines on this piece of paper. Hopefully you can see it. I'm going to hold it up to the camera just a little bit to be sure. Okay, I should be, hopefully there you can see the lightly colored guidelines there. I used my 5H pencil to make sure they were good and light, but I can definitely see them. And my objective, of course, like you see here, is to make my letters go exactly from the top to the bottom guideline. I don't want to have them shorter than the guideline. I don't want to have them overlapping the guideline, you know. So, and as they suggested, we're going to do a straight line there, straight line there. Look at that. I'm messing up already. That's embarrassing. The very first line I drew, I went too far. I am sorry. Okay. So straight line there, and then want to cross like that, right? And of course, you're going to have the opportunity to draw several letters, several instances of the same letter, and really try to get a standardness to it. You know, it's definitely challenging. We do the B letter. Remember that it was a single stroke for the vertical part, one stroke for this part, one stroke for this part, right? Same with the C. I'll do a couple of B's here for fun. B, like that, okay? A little bit there, a little bit there. So from here down, that part, then add this and this to make the C. You know, you obviously nobody's going to watch you do your lettering. These are suggestions for how it can work the best. Same thing, the D, right? We've got a single stroke here for the D, and then a second stroke to make the curvy part, right? But part of the issue, a suggestion here, is not that you do like cursive writing, where you would keep your pencil down the whole time, you know, like an A like this, right? Instead, you're working on nice short strokes and lifting the pencil up in between each one. You know, obviously you can do a B like this, right? Just one, keeping the pencil down the whole time like that. And that's okay, but that's definitely not a good quality B for an engineering drawing. Right? That's pretty good there. C. That D. And of course, you're not going back and forth like this with this kind of double line action here on the B. Let's see if you can see that very well. You don't want that. You really want something like that. Okay? And so this thing takes you through, and I'm not going to go through and bore you with the entire thing, right? But it does take you through the strokes involved in doing each of these letters. And I want you to try that. I made my guidelines here 3/16 of an inch apart. I would suggest that's a good size to try to start with. Eventually, maybe working to eighth inch. You know, if yours aren't really perfect, you can erase and do over. You can just, you know, chalk it up to practice and do better on the next one, right? Okay, how do they suggest we do a G? A G is sort of like a C, only do like that, then like that, then like this, right? That, like that. Okay. So the objective here, of course, is legibility and consistency. We don't want the viewer, the reader, to have any doubt in their mind what you're trying to say, right? It should be very consistent and very obvious. Right now, I can tell my pencil's duller than when I started. So that might be a thing where you would sharpen your pencil and kind of do some practice lines a little bit to make sure you've got the right sharpness from the start. Sometimes coming right out of the sharpener, it's super sharp, and there was a place where the point just kind of crumbled a little bit because it was so fine and fragile. So it just kind of crumbled off the tip and changed itself within the second letter, right? And I is just like this. Okay, so that's some tips on lettering. Again, I'm going to ask you to follow the pattern they're giving you here of which ones to do in what order and how to do the strokes and so on, and see that it can give you some good quality lettering. I realize that, you know, this isn't easy for some people. It's not easy for me. Even though mine aren't perfect, it took me a while to get at least this good. And I would consider my lettering to be adequate, not spectacular. So I would encourage you to practice a little bit. Now here's another worksheet showing similar kinds of things. Actually, they don't agree, do they? No, these don't agree. Interesting. No, maybe they do. Maybe they do. It's a little hard to see the arrowheads on this. Yeah, I'm sorry. These do. I was looking at the A, and for a minute there, it looked like the arrowhead was pointing up on the one side, but I'm mistaken. The arrowhead is going down. It just is. That thing is a number. Okay, now I got to figure it out. That's a 1. That's a 2, and then the arrowheads are going down, and a 3 for the one going across. So, so these do agree. They're just different in that this shows you the strokes separated apart. This one shows the strokes as part of the finished letter. So yeah, that's cool. All right. Anyhow, so that's our lettering practice. I said I'm going to give you a lettering worksheet. In addition, I'm going to ask you to do something like this, and I'm going to ask you to do a lettering worksheet that I'll give to you that has specific words and stuff for you to write. On this page, I'd like you to do about 4 repetitions of each letter of the alphabet on your own page that you make. And then on the page that I give you, it'll be writing out the letters and words and stuff that they put on the page for you to copy. All right. Thanks for listening.